Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is May 4th, so happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. This video I just want to talk about Star Wars because I've always mentioned little tidbits of that I like Star Wars and why. So I just wanted to share my Star Wars story for for this May the 4th because I've been a fan since early 2016 when I watched The Force Awakens for the first time in theaters. So I would say I don't want to say that I was I do want to say that I was part of the 2015 fandom because I technically was, because I did want to see it in December. I just didn't get the chance, so I saw it in January. But yes, so I just want to say it's 5 years, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I never was into Star Wars. I've mentioned this before. I'm never into it. My sister was a big fan, and I would always make fun of her for it. And now look at me. I was with my mom. We were watching TV in the living room. I saw a TV spot for The Force Awakens, and I saw Daisy Ridley as Rey. And that's when I was like, oh, I've never seen this actor before. And this was the time when they just kept casting all the same A-list actors. And I was just over it at that point. I was like, they need to hire new people. And then when I saw her on the screen, I was like, oh, I've never seen this woman before. So I was so into it. And then I watched the trailers, and I was like, oh, I'm in all the way. I wanted to watch the movie. So that's when I would watch the trailers. I would make the Vine was the thing at the moment, so I would just make a bunch of Vine edits of Rey and just the whole movie in general, the cast. And yeah, Daisy was my girl. So going in, I watched the movie by myself. By myself. That wasn't the first time I've seen movies by myself, but it was just I was like, oh, this momentum thing, and I'm seeing it by myself. But I think the day before, my friends and I planned to watch it, but I was like, guys, I had to see this first. I was like, I need to see this, so I watched it myself. I loved it. I went in going to love Rey, and she was amazing. I just love that character so much. It changed everything for me. I've loved female characters, or just any just strong characters in the past, with Black Widow and what other movie came out? Oh, Wanda Maximoff. That was also 2015. And I was just, yeah, I loved them and stuff, but it was just different with Rey. I was like, oh, I liked her story, her backstory, all the mysteries to her. I really liked that. And I just liked Daisy Ridley's portrayal, so that's ultimately hooked me into the whole Star Wars universe. And I became a fan. Even my friends, they just associated me with Rey and Daisy, during that time. I loved it. I mean, I think they still do, because I love Rey. She's my girl. And yeah, then I watched it the next day with my friends, and oh, we just had so much fun watching that movie. Ugh, I will never forget them. Never forget the movie. Just everything, that movie just makes me feel so good. And then after that, I was so into the fan theories. I was into it. I watched all the movies. I watched them in order, actually, not by release date. I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I mean, it wasn't horrible. Actually, you know what? I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I went 4, and then I went to 6. I watched half of the 6th one. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. And then I realized that I watched the wrong movie, so then I went and watched 5. So yeah, I was kind of spoiled of what happens in 5, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, I watched them all. I think Lego Force Awakens came out. Wait, yeah, around that time. Then I just got into the theories, into everything. I switched my fan account. My fan account at the time was Marvel, and then I switched to, and my fan account wasn't popular. No one would interact with me. Oh my gosh, no one liked me. But then when I switched to Star Wars, that's when I started to make friends on the internet, and then there was a bunch of theories, and I was into the theories, and I made my own theories. And then Rogue One came out. That was a big thing for me, and I was super excited. I watched Rogue One, and then when it came to The Last Jedi, that was when I made so many friends. I love them so much, and I'm still friends with a lot of them, so it just shows how much Star Wars, that just means so much to me, with all the friends that I made, and especially with Reylo. I remember when I watched The Force Awakens, I wasn't into Reylo. The first time, I was like, no, this doesn't make sense. But then rewatching, I was like, oh, I'm into it. So then that's when I became a big Reylo. And yeah, it's just, it just means so much to me. I wasn't, even Reylo, I was like, I'm the only one. And then I found out, before, it was, during the TLJ era, when The Last Jedi trailer stuff came out, a lot of people, were coming out, oh, I like Reylo. And I was like, wait, me too. And then that's when I made a bunch of friends. And then post The Last Jedi, that's when everyone came out, and I was like, yes, we all love Reylo. So I thought that was so cool, and I think that's like the best part of this whole me getting into Star Wars. It's not just about the story, which I really enjoy the story. Like, I like how it's about like love, compassion, how love can defeat hate. Say you save what you love instead of fighting what you hate, and I just really like that whole thing about it, and like how George Lucas always intended it to be like poetry. It rhymes, he mentioned, like, and you could see that with the originals and with the prequels, and then even with the sequels, the first two parts. I'm sorry, I still don't like Charles. Nothing will change my mind. But yeah, as I was saying, it's just a story that touched me in a way, and like, I was never like into, like, I was never into a franchise as much as I was into Star Wars. Like, I loved Marvel, and I like dedicated so much of my time with Marvel, but it didn't have that same effect to me when I was watching Star Wars. Like, it hit me like personally, like I was like, oh, like it's really about family, and I really like that because I'm all about my family. So yeah, it's really cool, and I'm just very grateful. I mean, even though like these past couple months have been bad to me, mostly being in the Star Wars fandom, just because of everything that happened in the last part, and then the fandom and everything is getting ruined. I just want to say that even though all of this happened in the last couple months, I don't regret ever watching The Force Awakens in 2015. And I know, I make jokes like, I'm like, oh, I hate Star Wars, like, I wish I never watched it, but I don't mean it. I enjoy Star Wars, and I love it so much, and I don't think I'm ever gonna stop loving Star Wars, even if it doesn't make sense. I had to do that. Oh man. Yeah, I love Star Wars. So I hope you guys have a great May 4th. There's going to be a video Friday, I hope, if I record it. Stay safe, do what you're told, and do tell me your guys' Star Wars stories. I would love to hear it. Be cool, everyone. Bye.